I'm Mitch from Pipebomb, and this is Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Pipebomb, welcome.
Thanks, man.
What's going on?
Everything's good, man. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to bring up before we really dive deep into things is we randomly ran into each other a couple weeks back at the Boar and Toothless show, and because you had another band performing that night.
Yeah. So I play bass in a band called Plead the Widow's Cause, and Boar hit me up to try to get Pipebomb to play that show, and I had to be like, we don't actually have like a live band and a full set ready yet. But I play in another band and we'd be totally stoked to play. So Plead jumped on that show and we cover a Pipebomb song in our set.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for probably like 5-6 months now.
And that's when I noticed. I was just like, wait a minute. They just said Pipebomb. I know that name. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
There he is, and then we chatted it up for a little bit afterwards, and it was cool. It's awesome. This like community. I talk about this all the time on the podcast. Actually, how this community we're all kind of tied in, with each other at some point. That there's multiple people in different bands, and just trying to do the thing that they love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The hustle.
A lot of people I've come across where I'm like, oh wait, that person who was in a band with that other person?
Yeah.
I know them from like 10 years ago,
Yeah, like all the time. It's hilarious. It's awesome though. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But we are here today because of Pipebomb. For anybody who doesn't know about Pipebomb, what can you tell us about what you're doing?
Yeah. So I kind of started it as like a solo project. And this is like 2 years ago, 2023, I guess 2.5 years now. And yeah, I was sitting on a lot of demos that I thought had potential, but I didn't have a band or anything. And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just save them for when I get a band or if I start a band. And I was playing in an indie rock band called Church Girls at the time. And that was a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun writing for them. But I kept getting these ideas for like heavier songs, and I was like, this is like way too metalcore for that. This is not going to work. So I was like, well, I'll just kind of write them and see what happens. And then, I just put out a demo, and people actually were into it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I just kind of kept doing that little by little. And I put out an EP in 2024. I think. And then since that came out, I've been writing a new album and trying to figure out what a live show would look like and how to get that together. And so we're finally starting to get all the pieces together, and we booked our first live show for July of this year. So
cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So are you still part of that original band that you were talking about? Are you still doing that with them?
Technically, yeah, but we're kind of on like a little break that could be an indefinite break. We're not sure.
Okay.
We're all kind of, we're getting older. We got married. Our singer just had a baby, and so like a lot of good things happened that kind of were like, oh, we have other responsibilities, and maybe we need to kind of take a break from.
Damn, life started happening, huh?
Yeah.
Life picked up.
Yeah. But again, good things. Good things in life. So, yeah.
So the demos that you were writing, are those were those strictly for the EP that you already put out, or is this new stuff that you're going to be putting out with the upcoming release?
Both actually. So I had so the first song I put out was called False God. And that was a little more straightforward out of like all the demos that I wrote. Kind of had like this early 2000s like Norma Jean thing going, and I was like, well, this is like kind of the vibe I wanted to go for, but with room to grow in like a lot of different directions. So that was the first one I put out, and then most of the other demos I wrote were for that EP. But there are a few that I had for, I mean, probably a year even before I did that, that are going to be on the new Pipebomb album, that are
Hell
a little
yeah.
bit like heavier. I mean, they're not quite to like Nails territory, but I think they're kind of like bordering on that like false grind hardcore thing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I kind of, there were a few demos where I was like, I don't know if I can actually like swing this as Pipe Bomb, and I was like, let me try. So I just kind of like re-recorded the vocals in like the Pipe Bomb style, and then I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
this actually kind of works.
Anything that you write that comes from within is pipe bomb. It's you.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
no, you know what I mean. There's no rules to any of this. It's,
yeah,
that's what you feel. Just put it out, man. Put
yeah.
it out.
And
But
I
it's
kind of
it's
like,
good when you can kind of go back though, because I totally get that of like, okay, I started this a little early. Let me kind of just update it a little bit. I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
And I mean, you do that all the time with
Right.
other demos anyway, but these were ones
Yeah.
where I was like, I was kind of iffy on whether they would even work style wise, but
Mm.
I don't know. I'm like, I'm not going to overthink it. If
Yeah,
I
I was
like
just
it,
gonna
I'm just gonna
say
make it,
exactly. I was gonna say I think overthinking these things sometimes can get the best of us. We're our own
Yeah.
worst enemy sometimes, and you
Yeah,
never
or
know what's
you-
gonna hit. You just
Yeah.
never know. A song can come out that you didn't even know would hit, and it's like your most popular one.
Yeah. Or
That
people
happens
get in
all the
their
time.
heads about like, oh man, we like these songs are too metalcore. Like we need like a softer one. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna write.
Yeah.
If I like it, I'm just gonna put it on something.
And that's the best approach.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolute best approach. So why the name Pipe Bomb? Where did that come from?
Nowhere specific. I think. I mean,
You're just a fan of pipes and bombs. Is that the thing?
Well, I think what put it into my head was I was watching a documentary on the Unabomber, and I was like, they probably said pipe bomb or just the word bomb, and I was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
pipe bomb is like kind of a cool name. I can't think of any bands that had that name already.
Yeah.
I know there's a band, and I only know this since I named my band Pipe Bomb, but there's a band called This Bike is a Pipe Bomb,
Huh.
and that always comes up when I like search Pipe Bomb stuff. It's like the SEO of everything. But
Yeah, well, hopefully that band is huge, so whenever you type that name in, and your stuff's connected with all that, you just get that huge wide audience.
yeah,
I haven't heard of them though. Are they? That'd be funny. Are they from Philly area too?
I don't think so. I think they're like I don't know too much about them, but yeah, it's weird. It's like in my mind they're like my SEO rivals of like, oh man, we need to like compete for the title of Pipe Bomb.
Yeah. I'm on your team though, so if you need any
right.
help, anything I can do,
Yeah,
well, this interview will probably help a little bit,
yeah,
and who knows?
yeah. But yeah, so it was basically just I thought it sounded cool.
It does sound cool.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I've ever started the interview on an explosion. I might even just like add in like a huge like explosion to start it off, because I've never done that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, exactly. One thing, now it's off topic, but we'll wrap right back into the music conversation. One thing that I always try to have a conversation with people about on this podcast, and it never works. There was one, Joe from More of Myself to Kill. I appreciate you, Joe. But you were wearing a hockey jersey in your show. You were wearing a Flyers jersey.
Yeah.
Are you a big sports fan? You a big Philly sports guy?
I'm like an emerging hockey fan. So
Okay.
I grew up in New Jersey, so like South Jersey, so all my family is like, and like everyone in our area is just like Philly sports teams. But I'm a pretty casual fan when it comes to most of those things.
Yeah.
But I started going to some Flyers games recently, and I was like, this is a lot of fun, and this is really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm like trying to learn more about it and
Yeah.
get more into hockey. But
I always tell people the best way to experience hockey is to go see it in person.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It
It's
is,
so
yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, I moved to New York from Chicago, and oh man, the energy when the Blackhawks come out or the Bulls come out, it's there's really nothing like it. It's almost like seeing your favorite band live, because I love my team so much, but it's just the atmosphere and the vibe is just so much different.
Yeah.
It's fun, especially when the players fight. It's always fun to get up and scream with them and throw your fist in the air. It's like a mosh pit. I
Yeah.
don't know. I always try to relate everything to music. I'm crazy. Uh, so that's cool. I love I not love, but I'm a Hawks fan, but I really appreciate the Flyers. When I was in Philly one time, I went out to a game and it was a blast. And people who I was talking to around me were super nice people. Had a
Yeah.
nothing but a great time. And I love the history of the team too. The Broad Street Bullies. That
Yeah.
is cool. That is cool.
My father-in-law is a really big Flyers fan, and he was showing me kind of these videos from like the 70s and 80s. I don't know exactly when the cutoff was where they kind of enforced like, oh, you have to wear a helmet.
Hmm.
And so he was just showing me these old games where people weren't wearing helmets, and I was like, this is insane. Like these
Yeah.
guys are just bloody, you know. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really cool, but
They
yeah,
were definitely bullies in the league at that time.
yeah,
And I miss it. I miss the aggressiveness.
yeah.
Ugh, there's too many. Anyway, all right. Sports crossed out. We are here today because of a track that you wrote, and it's called I Will Kill the Worst Parts of Myself.
Yep.
Just the name alone sounds pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this song to break down tonight? What does this one mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think out of all the songs that I've written, not just because this is the most recent one that I've put out, but I think out of all of them, it's the one that's the most applicable to the topic of mental health and I guess our role in taking care of ourselves and taking accountability for ourselves. Um, so, yeah, I think that's as far as like the topics go, that's way more straight ahead than some of the other ones. But yeah,
Does vulnerability and these kind of lyrics is it a common theme in your music? Do you often talk about like this kind of stuff, or is this like a one-off where it's like I'm gonna go all in on this one and kind of let people know how I feel right now about something?
I think it is pretty common in my lyrics. It's rare to be the sole focus of a song. I feel like normally it's, you know, how mental health relates to something else that I'm feeling, or, you know, there's a lot of adjacent topics that you can take
Hmm.
from. But this is one where I was like, yeah, it just felt like a pretty straightforward idea to me. Um, and I don't know how much we want to get into this now, or if we're gonna go
Yeah.
go line
I
by
was
line,
gonna
but
say,
yeah,
yeah. Just kind of surface level. I think that's great.
yeah.
When was this song written?
I wrote it. This one went pretty quickly, actually. So I wrote it and recorded it last year.
Okay.
Probably the demo and everything within like a week or something, and then just re-recorded it for the album.
Wow, this one just seemed natural and just from everything,
Yeah,
from the lyrics to the everything afterwards too, it seemed like a natural fit for you.
yeah, and it's typically like the demo writing goes pretty quick for me. At least for, I mean, the songs are pretty short also, but so that helps. But yeah, I mean, the writing the guitars and bass and stuff typically goes pretty quick. The lyrics for this one took a little bit of time, but I kind of revisited lyrics months later, you know.
Hmm.
But
And just let the music sit.
yeah, I just kind of like
Yeah.
sat with it and was like, oh, is this actually where I'm going to land? And then
Yeah.
went back and kind of wrote in some lyrics there. So yeah, lyric wise, I think this one took longer, but demo wise, it was very quick. And then, yeah.
I
all
really like
last
that
year.
process of recording the music first and then stepping away for a bit. I feel stepping away from something is always a great idea. There's so many creative projects that I have that when I knock it out, I'm stoked about it and I just want to release it. I just want to put it out. But then sometimes that's come back to bite me. I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have gone that route.
Yeah.
If only I would have slept on it for a couple more nights.
Yeah. It can give
Yeah,
you
that's how you
perspective.
learn, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you've teased me enough with the live show in Philly. You've teased me enough with everything you're saying. I think it's time to listen to this track.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, this is I Will Kill the Worst Parts of Myself by Pipebomb. Let's break this track down. Like that right there. That was fun. Shit, dude, what a track. I don't know if I told you this, but I haven't heard this track yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
I do. That was so this is my first time listening to it. I always intentionally do that, so I can give kind of a raw emotion behind what the lyrics make me feel in the moment.
Nice.
No future calm. Backhanded living has its flaws. Yeah, it does. Hold up and leering with my lights off. All knuckles, elbows, crooked teeth. My soul has nothing up its sleeve. So after reading those lyrics, the lyric that stood out to me the most was my soul has nothing up its sleeve. What a creative line there. Like it kind of really hit me. I'm like, oh shit, like this is just another way of saying what you see is what you get, and I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve, and you don't have to like not trust me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a real human, just like all of us, and I care. All knuckles, elbows, crooked teeth. You've been knocked down, you've been kicked, you've been bruised, you've been at the bottom, but still here. Backhanded living has its flaws. No future calm. No future. Backhanded living. Backhanded living. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think the idea behind this song was kind of taking a look at, well, I guess I'll paint a picture first. When I wrote the song last year, and it was just a really hard year. It's been a while since I felt that depressed.
Last year, you said?
Last year, yeah. And ironically, it was also like a really happy year. I got married in 2024. So
cool.
It's the first full year. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
First full year of me being married. But yeah, just a lot of like losing jobs and really like hard adjustments to make in that year.
Dude, I know that feeling. I actually... The whole reason this podcast started when it did is because I lost the job and I couldn't find another one. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something fun during this time off. And now here we are. I'm doing this full time.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Crazy, dude. But I get the feeling though of losing the job and just like what that does to you and even your marriage too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's an adjustment. Obviously a good one in the sense of being married, but, it was also my first time kind of feeling like this is not just my thing. This is, the way that I'm feeling and the way that I'm reacting to how I'm feeling has, it affects the people I'm around, especially my wife, because we live together.
Yeah.
And I remember it being like in the middle of the day, and I was just really like tired, taking a nap in the middle of the day, and like all the lights are off, and I'm like, I should not be doing this. I should like be doing something productive. I should not be like wallowing and like laying here.
Yeah. That's a poison right there, man.
Yeah. And so I was like simultaneously chasing two different paths of life, of like, I don't know, almost like get busy living or get busy dying. Is like, those are the two paths. It's like, part of me wants to be completely productive and like rip myself out of this and move on and do all the hard things that I don't have the energy to do right now, and
Yeah.
really get busy living. And then the other part of me is like totally ready to give up and totally done with everything, and is on like the like I don't want to be here path. And so that's what I meant by backhanded living, is kind of like
Living in reverse.
living with like you want two opposite things, you want to be here to the fullest and you want to not be here at the same time. And so by doing that, you're chasing two opposite things at the same time and kind of holding yourself back. And at the time I was feeling really like worried about the future of like, I can't see any possible way that this like job stuff or just my life or existence or whatever, I don't see any way that it can work and end up in like a good place or the place that I want to be, or how my behavior and mental health and just perspective can end up in the place that I want it to be. And so that's kind of what I meant by no future calm. It's like, I can't imagine a future where everything is calm and everything is fine. So that's the first two lines.
Yeah, well, before we move on, I actually kind of wanted to dive into what you just said a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
You had said to start living. You wanted to. What does that look like for you? What is that?
Well, I think in that moment, it just meant getting out of the rut that I was in. And so that can mean, it means different things for different people. I think for me, it can be as simple as like, all right, get up and like work out, or get up and eat something healthy. Don't just go to like McDonald's or something. And call someone you haven't talked to in a while, and like don't shrink in, don't do all the things that are just going to isolate you and kind of lead you toward more of this sense of giving up and closing yourself off, but to do things that I don't know. I don't really like the term like life-giving. It's accurate, it's just a little cheesy in my mind, but like to do life-giving things, to do the things that make you feel like connected to other people and alive, and like go out and see people, go call your mom, go all those things. And in some sense it does mean like even things that we don't particularly want to be doing, like getting a job and working hard, or doing hard things like, I don't know, going for a run or working at things like that are unpleasant in the moment but are good for you in the long run.
I think for creatives, there's a really crazy balance that we need to play. It's like we need finances, and our art doesn't really provide that unless we're getting higher up there, but we're all hustling, we're all grinding, trying to do it. But then there's this balance of like, well, I also need to make a living, and I need money, and I got to provide for my wife and me, and if we have a family, there's all this fucking pressure, and it's like, but if we're not taking care of ourselves, it starts to affect everybody. But the only way to take care of ourselves ultimately is to kind of be doing something that we love. There's what we should be doing and what we want to do are kind of two different worlds. And I don't even know if this side would be should be doing, because I hate the concept of a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then you only have 2 days to enjoy it with your family, but you're fucking just tired from the week. And I don't know. I was doing the office thing for a while, and I just felt like I was disintegrating sitting there. I'm like, there's so much more I could be doing. I wish I was living life at this point, because at that time, I had a job, finances were good, I had just met my wife, like things were going great in that sense. But then I was still sitting there though, just being like, I'm doing what I think I should be doing, but I am neglecting all the things in my life that I actually would want to do full time. And so when you say no calm, no future calm, where that took me was just, I don't think anybody's future is just calm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I think that was also part of like the realization of this song was
Yeah.
like almost embracing that and embracing like the suffering of life and embracing the uncertainty of it. And like, yeah, I mean, you can't just like be waiting for things to kind of arrive at this perfect thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
never going to get there.
Because
Um,
everything has its challenges. You know, once you're out there like rocking out and playing a show and getting huge, then it comes to, well, we have shows all the time, and I'm away from the family. Now so there's always going to be something. There's
yeah.
always going to be some. But once you accept that there's always going to be something, it kind of, when that happens, it kind of just, it's a little easier to deal with because you kind of are like, okay, well, here's all the things that I saw could potentially happen doing this. So now that I'm here and this problem's coming up, kind of saw it happen a little bit. So here's how to navigate it a little bit. So what I like to do is write down, I'm like, okay, like for example, the podcast, I'm like, okay, if this becomes a thing, what does that look like in the long run? Like I start to see potential problems, and with anything though, there's always potential problems. But I think what helps me kind of get through the day and get through that situation is just knowing there's gonna be something, and if I can kind of mentally prepare for it, I can kind of tackle it and approach it better.
Yeah, and it can also help you be more thankful for when things are more calm or when things,
Absolutely,
I think
yeah.
that's having different, I talked a lot about like career stuff leading up to, me kind of being in this rut. And that's, I think like a lot of people are having difficulty in the job market and for different
Hmm.
reasons. But I think
Yeah.
having the different jobs that I've had has made me be thankful for certain things in other jobs, and then thankful for certain things in the moment, and then also getting more perspective on like, oh, this is not a good fit, or like this is a good fit but I need it to be more sustainable. There's a lot of things, and it's not just
Yeah.
with jobs. I mean, it's with
Yeah.
anything in life.
Yeah.
The more that you live, the more you get perspective on like, you could live your whole life thinking like, oh man, this is so terrible, and then you go through something really terrible and you're like, never mind, that was fine,
Yeah.
this is terrible.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. And that's a really good way to kind of look at the past and make new things that come up a little bit easier to deal with. I mean, um I attempted my life a couple years ago, and I went through a really, really bad phase, and I'm very grateful that I'm still here. But everything after that, I've been like, I can get through that. If
yeah,
I can pull myself out of the darkest place I've ever been and the lowest a person can even go, then I can. Losing this job, I think I can handle.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
This broken arm, I can handle.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's do it. Bring it on. Bring it on,
yeah,
world. But
yeah,
yeah, no, I mean that's a great way of kind of accepting the future, and I think that that's a word too. Is kind of just accepting that things are going to happen, because then it kind of just brings you from here to here. Sometimes it's like, okay, I thought there was a possibility of this, and it happened. Now let's take care of it.
yeah, yeah,
All
for sure.
knuckles, elbows, crooked teeth. That reminds me of a mosh pit.
A little, yeah, yeah,
You were just about to dive into what that part meant to you.
yeah. I was just thinking about how at that moment life can feel all, you can only see the negative. You can only see like these really abrasive. I was just thinking of like, what are the parts of the body that are like the most abrasive things, like that are gonna hit you, like knuckles, elbows, things like that. And
Gotcha.
all these awkward parts that like are kind of, you know, the awkwardness of life, the hardness of life. Um, Seeing that bodily as like, yeah, these your own limbs are kind of fighting against you. um
Yeah.
and
Even your own internal is going against you.
yeah, um
Wow.
and then my soul has nothing up his sleeve is kind of just like, I have nothing else, I have nothing left to like give, I'm at the end of my rope kind of thing.
Ah.
um I don't have any tricks up my sleeve. I don't have, a second wind waiting for me.
Mm.
Like I'm kind of just at this point where I'm like, what do I do? Um,
And it's odd that well, not odd, but it's interesting how when I read that line, I took it as like a positive. And I'm like, my soul's got nothing up the sleeve. You can trust me. Like, I know there's a lot of evil in the world, and I know there's a lot of like manipulation and stuff that goes on, especially in this scene sometimes, some backstabbing. But it's like, no, you can trust me. I'm one of the good ones. And that's kind of what I got from that. So to hear the new perspective, it's rough.
yeah, yeah.
I've
I
been
mean, I think
there.
there is something positive about that too, of like kind of reaching the end of yourself and being honest about like, hey, I have nothing left, Um,
Hmm.
Strangely, that is kind of a positive thing. But yeah,
I want a chance. I want a coffin. I want a chance. I want a way out.
yeah. So that's kind of the
Hmm.
repeating lyrics over that breakdown,
Yeah.
um, and that kind of brings back to the idea of like the backhanded living idea that I talked about is like, wanting to pursue life to its fullest and also wanting to not be here at the same time. You got these two opposite things
Hmm.
that the more you pursue one, the more it makes the other one harder. And you're kind of pursuing two things
Hmm.
simultaneously. That's um, that's all that is basically saying like
Yeah.
what I want is more of a chance at life, more opportunity, more things to kind of push me into a different spot. And I also want a coffin. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be dealing with this. I want to be, you know, done with all these things that I'm worried about. And um,
Hmm.
it is also interesting kind of looking at it from now being in a better headspace. I think it's interesting kind of looking back at it and being like, oh yeah, I was definitely like going through it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that's always a question I ask on this. So you beat me to it. One of the questions after listening to it, I say, so where you were then and where you're at now. What's that balance there? But yeah, you kind of now reading this and remembering what you went through last year. What's kind of that flip now? Or you still
uh,
think you're still going through a little bit of this?
I mean, I think things ebb and flow,
Yeah.
but
No
generally,
Pong.
yeah, I mean, generally, I think things are much better now. And I think learning how to kind of like talk through this kind of stuff with my wife has helped a lot too. And
Mm,
I think realizing like I don't know, having someone to be around and take care of,
mm,
it's not the same as like taking care of a child or something, but having anyone in your life that you're like, oh, I need to be there for this person, and it can be family, friends, whatever. Um, I think that made me think about this a little bit differently,
mm.
just because it's on a whole other level with being married.
Yeah.
Um, and I think also just,
It's no longer just about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then also, I think having just a different perspective on things, going through all the changes of the last year, going through rethinking, like, how am I responding? Because I think that's another one of the main points of this song is like kind of taking accountability for like, hey, I'm actually making this worse by how I'm acting
Mm,
right now. By not doing the hard thing now, I'm digging myself a deeper rut. By not, you know, by wallowing, it's actually making things worse. By
mm,
not um, talking about it more, or by not listening to the right voices
mm,
and ignoring the ones that are only going to make
mm.
things worse.
The right voices.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself kind of consuming things that aren't good for you when you're going through that phase? Like for some reason so when you said that, that took me to one of the reasons that I think I was stuck so hard when I was is because I found myself just listening to a lot of depressive music. And I would- and so hearing those words and hearing the voices, it kind of really brought me down and it made things worse.
Yeah, there is something to that. Like I feel like, um, if you listen to something like Julian Baker, it's like extremely sad music and it's beautiful, but like
Yeah.
it's extremely sad. Like some people find that really cathartic and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel so much better. And then
Yeah.
some people are like, no, I feel way more sad now.
Yeah, you just get wrapped up in
Um,
it. And
yeah,
it takes you right back to that emotion that you
yeah,
felt when you first heard that song or whatever, when you were using it for something, and then now you're like, fuck, now I'm right
yeah,
back in this.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I do think like the voices, I think I tend to be pretty negative internally, and I think
Hmm.
I had to reach a point where I was like, yeah, I'm not actually like correct about all of the me being so cynical about everything and me being so negative about my perspective on life is not helpful. And I shouldn't treat those thoughts like they are helpful. I shouldn't treat my inner monologue like it's correct all the time.
Hmm.
I shouldn't like, doubt myself always. You gotta
Yeah.
at least trust your own intuition. But I think I had to reach a point where I was like, yeah, I can't like trust my own perspective on this. I need to take a step back and be a little bit cautious with how much stock I put in my own thoughts. Um,
Yeah, it's really hard to see that though when you're in it. You
yeah,
know,
for
it's
sure.
like if you're mad or upset or depressed, it's hard to be like, I know I'm depressed right now. You got to snap out of this, Matt. And then it happens. You know what I mean? Like it's not, it's a process.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
One thing that I bring up all the time on this podcast because it literally changed my life. There's a book called "What to Say When You Talk to Yourself,"
Mm,
and it's all about how, as adults, there's things that are kind of subconsciously there that you learn from your childhood, or there's certain words or certain phrases that someone says to you or about you, and you kind of start to just take them on, and it just sticks with you. And it's like then you start to believe it. So it's
yeah,
kind of a book to just kind of rewire your brain into taking those thoughts and like flipping them and be and so like for example for you, I'm feeling depressed right now. If you wake, maybe start saying in your head, I'm depressed right now, but this is going to pass.
yeah. And
But
it's
you know
yeah, and it's crazy how like just the if you repeat something enough, it kind of becomes true in your mind.
yeah,
You just kind of
absolutely.
internalize it as a
Yep.
fact.
Yep. And
And
so this book dives
yeah,
into the whole psychology on that. It is an
mm,
amazing book.
yeah,
Absolutely amazing. Because we are our own worst enemy all the time. Like I'm sure your wife doesn't see you the way you see yourself. My wife doesn't see me the way I see myself. And so it's like I trust this person with all of my heart. So if she's wrong, she can't be wrong.
yeah,
There's something she saw in me to make me feel this way. So, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm not that bad. But yeah, I mean, the things we say to ourselves is it's the worst.
yeah. Um,
Well, the bad things we say to ourselves are the worst.
yeah,
But it also takes time too because it's rewiring. So it's not like you can say it one day, say something positive as a flip, and then the next morning you wake up not depressed anymore. It's like it's
yeah,
all rewiring. It takes time.
yeah. And when you are feeling really depressed, if you say something positive, it's like no, like it's just it doesn't feel true. It's like
Right.
why would I believe that?
Yeah.
That's now
No.
obviously not true. And so it's really hard to kind of like separate yourself
Yeah.
in that moment to
It's not
yeah,
an easy thing to do.
yeah,
Definitely not.
yeah,
But it definitely helps, even if there's no like immediate results. I mean, this stuff can take. I mean, these thoughts we have about ourselves take years to really kick in for us, and we start to adapt it. So it's almost like losing weight. It's easier to kind of put it on than it is to lose it. You
yeah, yeah. And that's I think at the core, that's kind of what the song is about, is like these bad habits and the worst parts of myself that I'm listening to is like I want to kill that off. I want to, to use your
I want to
analogy,
shed
like
that.
losing the
Yeah,
weight. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, like I want to shed that skin and kind
yeah,
of like undo the things I've been repeating for years, or the things that I just have not dealt with. Um, and
yeah,
so, yeah, that's, I guess, given that frame, that's
yeah.
kind of like the main idea behind this
It's
song.
a brain exercise.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we are already almost halfway. We're more than halfway done with the track. So I would say, since there's more lyrics, let's keep listening and then we'll continue the chat afterwards.
sure.
Fuck yeah. That's a fucking banger, dude. Seriously. Holy shit.
Thanks, man.
If this is what the rest of the album's going to sound like, sign me up. Where is that show going to be at, by the way? Are you allowed to say
It's
that yet?
yeah, so it's been announced. It's for Audio Feed Festival in Illinois.
Oh, Audio
Um,
Feed Festival.
yeah.
Interesting.
I've had
Illinois.
I've had a bunch of friends play it before, and I know that some people have been requesting us to play there, and it finally kind of ended up working. And Plead the Widow's Cause is playing there also, so I'm like, that's perfect. We can kind of like, double down, play in
Yeah.
both bands. So
So let's go over those last kind of lyrics there. Waiting on a key. That was the line that stood out to me. For a hurried hearse, turn the engine, wake up the hurt, drive into a patient earth. Waiting on a key, just something. Just I just need one thing to kind of just like snap me out of this. And if it's as easy as just getting the key and opening the door and going through it, and now I'm on the other side, I want it.
yeah,
Something, anything could be a key. So a job, a great job that'll do good for me. A huge headlining fest show or something. Like there's got to be something that's got to happen, because if not, I'm just going to be buried here.
yeah. I think the idea behind that was kind of like what you were saying, is like waiting for something to kind of like spring me out, but almost in like the negative. So instead of springing me out towards, this life where I feel free and I'm like kind of leaving that negativity behind me, is like, again, back to this like parallel idea of like, no, it's waiting on a key to kind of turn in this negative direction. Like I said, a hurried hearse. Like I just pictured like every time you see like a hearse, it's always driving pretty slow and pretty, like obviously there's a casket in there. They're like being careful. But almost this idea of like, get busy living, get busy dying, like hurrying toward the end, in hurrying in the wrong direction.
Just done. Just straight up done.
And so I think turn the engine, wake up the hurt is almost like, the more you keep hurrying in this direction, the more you're going to be hurt, the more you're going to hurt other people, the more that things are just going to kind of snowball in the wrong direction, obviously. And then drive into a patient earth is this idea of like, it's weird that life can feel really long and also really short at the same time. And so it's like, this, if you're hurrying toward your deathbed, if you're hurrying like in the wrong direction, like life goes on. Life is very patient. There's no shortage of years left for like everyone else to keep moving on. And so you know, it's it's kind of pointing out like there's no sense in continuing the way I'm going if it's going to lead to that path, if it's going to lead to me going really fast in the wrong direction or doing a bunch of things that are only going to make my life worse or more miserable or whatever. And so, yeah, it's leading up to that kind of last break part.
Yeah, this kind of back and forth is very interesting. It's like these thoughts that you are having in your head, like you have good days and bad days, and it's kind of just mashing them together. Like, I will kill the worst part of me because to me that is a positive. You know, you want to shed off that part of you. You want to, you know, be free and live your life and not have to worry about these things. But then it ends with bury it all, better off dead. This whole back and forth is pretty wild. When you were writing this song, what were the emotions like during that actual process of writing this and coming up with this idea?
I mean, it kind of was that back and forth. But it's interesting that you thought that it ended negative because to me, that was a positive. To me, that's thinking, I'm going to kill the worst parts of myself. I'm going to leave those bad habits dead in the ground. I'm going to, you know. So to me, it was kind of this like back and forth. You know, I want a chance, I want a coffin, kind of like I want to get out of this rut and I want to succumb to it.
Yeah, I get it now. I get it.
And then it ends with, I want to kill the worst parts of myself, bury it all, better dead. It's like, it's better to deal with this now and to eliminate these bad habits that are just going to make me and the people around me miserable.
Yeah.
So
well, you had brought up running and exercising earlier on. I think with just how heavy the song is, those breakdowns, it just, you should like exercise to this song. Because I think,
if anyone's watching, please exercise to this song. Because
it's not only is it kind of like like a track that I would listen to kind of just like pump me up with the music, but also the meaning behind it. Because you're like, I will kill the worst parts of myself. It's almost like you're running it off. Like, let me get this out. Let me get this out on the weights. Let me get this out on the treadmill. And it's like, but I think personally for you, it'll be a very kind of therapeutic thing to listen to this while you're physically getting better.
Yeah. I saw it got added to a playlist called Heavy Lifting, which is like
I knew it. I knew it.
Like, this is great. That's exactly,
Yep, I knew it. Yeah, you should try that sometime. You should or just go to do a boxing class at some time and have like one ear pod in and just fucking go at it. Dude, I was huge on boxing a couple months ago. I still am, but like it's just the podcast has kind of taken over my life these last couple months. But but I love it. I wouldn't be doing anything else. But that was my therapy. Was signing up for a class, taking it all out on that bag, and I would just walk out and just be like, oh my God, I needed that. But I always had music in one ear though.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, I did kickboxing for a little bit. It was
cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, my hips would hurt a lot after kickboxing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really had to work on trying to be flexible for that because I was like, I have not stretched this much in years.
Yeah, there was a kickboxing class I would go to occasionally, and I was like, if I just keep going, I'll get better. And I did get better, but I'm just like, my hips are they're not there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Probably from marathon running for so long. I feel like my whole body has kind of the last couple of years of feeling little pains every so often.
Yeah.
Done 11. I've done 11. I've done 11 of those marathons, and I think it's starting to physically show its wear and tear on my body a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm signed up for another one next year, so I don't know. Later this year. I don't know why I do it, but so I want to go back to I will kill. So actually, it's not really what I thought it was, but what I was going to say was, I guess it still kind of relates, but The main reason that I got into Boar's music and listening to them was because of a song called Bungled. And
Mm.
there's a lyric in there that he screams out twice, and it makes me want to kill myself because he starts talking about these like negative things, and it makes me want to kill myself.
Yeah,
And
that's the like kind of like jazzy part in the middle of the song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so fucking sick. But it's a negative thing to say, but sometimes it's just like there's certain words and phrases that like after you say it, it's like a release to get that shit out.
Hmm.
Like I would rather, because there's a lot of times when like people are like scream into a pillow if you get frustrated, or like get out, get out in the middle, the middle of nowhere and just scream so you can be, so you can just get it out. But like I feel like that's the same way with metal music. I feel like everything that we scream is something that we want to say and get out, so we can try to have like a different place to put that, so it's
Yeah.
not in here all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think for this, like, it was me doing that and also trying to be like a little positive of like, no, I'm making like a declaration of like, I'm gonna kill the worst parts of myself. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna make an effort to like embrace the difficulty of this, um, while also kind of screaming into the pillow and like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, showing the like duality of it of like, this is extremely hard, but it's worth it, you know.
Totally. That's how I feel at mile 24. I'm like, fuck, my body's done. But I just got 2 more miles to go until I'm done. I got that finish line. So keep going. Because I know that line is up ahead. I can't see it yet, but I know it's there. So you got to keep fighting.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, man. I can get maybe like 1 mile and then I
Practice. I mean, when I first started running,
sure.
a mile was extremely rough for me too. But so this song isn't out yet for the public.
No, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's out.
Yep.
Before you put it out, how did you feel mentally about releasing this song to the world? And now people are able to read these lyrics and hear this song and really kind of get to know a very vulnerable side of you. Before you released it, how did that feel? And then once you released it, how did the release of this go?
Yeah, I don't know if I really thought about it too much. I think I was just like, time to put it out.
You just needed to get it out.
Yeah, and I think the lyrics are straightforward enough. They're not super cryptic, but they're not so straightforward that people have been like calling me up like, "Hey, are you okay?" You know, I think there's enough of a positive in there that it's not just this kind of like worrying, like, oh, I feel so depressed. It's like, no, but it shifts to this kind of determination, and almost like an angry optimism.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's kind of, I wasn't super nervous about releasing it because to me that was the purpose of the song, was this angry optimism. And yeah, I mean, since it came out, I think the response has been really good.
Is this one of the tracks that you played a few weeks back?
No, so we haven't played anything other than False God.
Okay.
We're still kind of putting together like our live set and choosing what songs are gonna work for that. But
yeah, that was a fun live set, man, and it really seemed like the audience was into it too.
Thanks, man.
I just put out a video, like a recap of a couple of the shows, and there's this guy who's like hardcore dancing and throwing elbows and stuff. That was during your set.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that guy was doing
cool.
that. The crowd dug it, dude.
Nice, man.
And so did I. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yes, it was. So, besides your music and writing it out on paper and recording and playing it, let's take all that aside for a second. Of being a fan of music, what has music done for you in your life and mental health to even kind of get you to this point where it almost seems like your goal and career, like what you want to do is music? Where did that come from? What does mental health and kind of just what makes you happy and like that's what you want to do? Like what does music mean to you?
Yeah. I think for me, music got me out of my shell a lot. I was like pretty shy as a kid, and I tried to do sports. I wasn't that good at sports. um, and I think when I got into music, something clicked, and I was like, "Oh, this is like." I mean, obviously, it takes effort, but like it works. Like something about this just kind of like fits
It was a
my.
feeling.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
felt right.
yeah. Especially like learning learning guitar and being like, oh, I could actually like get decent at this. It's not like it's not unattainable to like play the songs that I want to play.
Yeah.
Um,
The way our brains work sometimes. Some of us are more technical, like learning an instrument, but some of us are just more physical, and like sports is the thing.
yeah,
We all have that thing. It just wasn't for you. It's not that
yeah,
you weren't good at it. It just wasn't for you.
yeah. And I was better at other sports too,
Sure, yeah.
than like team sports or whatever. But yeah, I mean, once I started playing music, I think it kind of got me out of my comfort zone in terms of obviously like branching into different types of music and listening to things and then what they were talking about in that music, like from being really shy and closed off and like not really wanting to talk about anything with anyone. I think that realizing that this is something like I don't know, there are heavy topics in music and there are people who are kind of like spilling their souls, and even if that wasn't my style at the time or like not something I felt comfortable doing, I think it, you know, being in bands, meeting different people, liking music a lot, pushing myself of like being deathly afraid of being on a stage and then like doing it and being like, oh, I'm okay, I can keep doing this. You know, kind of getting out of my comfort zone in a lot of different ways got me a lot more comfortable, for lack of a better word, with being more open with, I guess, personal things or even like mental struggles, and then also being more open just with being social and meeting people and like trying to talk to people and trying to like, you know, find this community.
Yeah. Music does that to you. And a conversation that I have a lot that comes up a lot is you almost like when you go into a recording booth to do lyrics, or if you step on a stage, or you kind of take on like a different version of you in a way. It's like, okay, I have this song that I have to go and scream and let out. When I step into that booth or when I step on that stage, it's Matt 2.0. It's not the depressive who doesn't have, no, I have to get into a different mindset to do this. And it pushes me to do that. Like, for example, this podcast, like there's so many times where I'm not feeling it. I am not in a place to talk about mental health because I'm going through it. And I've wanted to cancel so many interviews, but I'm like, this is why I'm doing this, you know, to get this stuff out and to make people feel like they have a place to do that. But that's a process I go through. Like sometimes I just have to snap out of it and just be like, you know, this makes you feel better afterwards. So just do it. And you don't want to let these artists down either. So I always try to pull from that place too. And so I think having that outlet is life-changing.
Yeah.
Because picking up a guitar or learning music literally changed your life for the, you know, probably for the better.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know about financially for the better, but definitely like relationally for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, finances.
Yeah. It is funny, you know, like talking with people who are in bands. It's like, dang, maybe I should have just like been an accountant or something. That would have been such a better decision with paying the bills. But
you know, it's funny. I early on in my career when I was doing the office thing, I worked in finance. That was one of my first jobs, and I was miserable. And everybody else who was on that team seemed miserable as well. So not going the accounting route, I think, was the best route for you.
Yeah, true.
Oh man, but then again, it's like I didn't know that that would make me miserable. There was a
Yeah,
part that thought, hey, maybe I would like this, so I gave it a shot. And so
yeah,
it's like it's putting yourself out of that comfort zone too, and like be willing to try something, even if you think you're not going to like it.
yeah,
Give it a shot.
yeah. I think I've done that with jobs too. Of kind of taken jobs where I'm like, I don't know if I'm a good fit for this, and it's definitely going to be like a challenge, but this is kind of where it's going. This is like,
Yeah,
I need to try this to make sure, sometimes it's better to just keep walking, even if it's in the wrong direction, because then
yeah.
it's the wrong direction and you can go somewhere else.
And well,
Um,
that's just like you playing sports. It just wasn't for you, so you pivoted
yeah,
and went a different way.
yeah, for sure.
Your mind can do that too. Your mind can pivot.
Yeah,
You gotta keep pushing through though.
yeah.
What is your so one last question before we wrap this up? What is your and it's probably a very difficult question, so you can just throw one out or something, but your go-to songs to help you get out of a mental funk?
Hmm.
And it doesn't even have to be like lyrically based. It's just what can you throw on to kind of just get you out of the mindset, to make you kind of just smile a little bit and kind of forget about life.
Yeah. Um,
Could even just be an
well,
artist in general. Yeah.
one that's, yeah, I mean, I think an artist that always makes me feel things where, sometimes you put on a song and you're like, oh, this riff is cool, whatever. An artist that always makes me like feel things that I'm not always ready to feel is Pine Grove.
Pine Grove.
Yeah. If you've never listened to them, please listen to them.
I have
They're
not.
great. But yeah, they're great. They have a song called Endless that it kind of talks about, I don't know all the lyrics off the top of my head, but it starts off by saying, is life kicking up dust right now? So it kind of paints this picture of like, being exhausted, being tired.
Yeah.
And then I think the second verse, it says, it's an honor to feel this way, to feel the color of the longest day. And it kind of paints this picture of like the negative emotions that you're feeling. It can still be an honor to feel them. It can still be a good thing to go through that and then to arrive somewhere else.
Because it means you're still alive. You're still kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think even it can be a growing mechanism. Like growth never happens easily. It always happens through, like, you have growing pains. And so I think realizing that, even realizing like when you're like I was very nervous as a kid to like do anything. I was very nervous to get on stage. I was very nervous to like talk in front of people. And I think when you get that like nerve feeling in your stomach and you start to be like, oh no, I can't do this, realizing that like those are the growing pains of becoming someone who's comfortable with that. Those are the things where it's like, that's a sign that you're doing something right, is when
Right.
you're nervous.
I was just gonna say, whenever I get that feeling of like maybe I shouldn't do this, that's the best time to actually fucking do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so I feel like that's kind of, I don't want to put words in Pine Grove's mouth, but I think at least what I take from that song.
Yeah, that's
is
it's
kind
just
of,
your interpretation of it.
yeah.
That's cool.
And
Very
yeah,
cool.
a lot of their songs are just really great, make me feel good.
Yeah.
And weirdly, sometimes really heavy, like really riffy metal, it just kind of makes me be like, this is rad and life is rad and, got to play heavy
It
riffs.
sparks exactly. It sparks an emotion to get you to get up and do something.
Yeah. So for that, my go-tos are like Metallica, obviously, but then there's a band called I Am, which is
I am.
they're
Sounds familiar.
they're cool. I saw them on tour with Kubla Khan a while back, and they're kind of like,
I am. I'm gonna take note of that so I can look them up again.
they're cool. They're like kind of like super low down tune, like slow tempo doom mixed with like very fast tempo thrash. Like it just spans this really big
That's cool.
thing. But yeah, they're super cool. very
Are
good
they local to
guitarist.
Philly, or do you know where
They're
they're
from
based?
Texas.
Oh, they're from Texas. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, well, um, we have just started 2025. Sorry, we have just started 2026. January's wrapped up, which is wild already because I feel like it flew by. Um, it at the end of December of this year, where do you hope Pipe Bomb is? What is I know you got more music, I know you've got shows, but when you're looking back at the year, where do you hope this year took you?
This past year, or the year we're currently in?
The year they're currently in. So
Yeah,
looking ahead of the future, at the end of
yeah.
this year, what do you hope that Pipe Bomb has accomplished? Where do you hope it's going?
Um, I'm honestly not sure. I try to hold things with kind of a loose grip, um, especially like with music in my 30s. I don't want to have too tight of a grip and kind of loose perspective. And so I think with Pipe Bomb, I have a tendency to be like, I want to do more, and I want to do more, and I want to do, to like
Yeah,
to have this carrot dangling in front of me of like, oh, I got to make it, And I don't think that that's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for a lot of musicians to think that way because making it means so many different things to different people, and then even the
yeah,
people who make it sometimes can't even like pay their rent and stuff. So
yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah.
factors to that. So anything that happens to Pipe Bomb, whether it's like getting added to a cool playlist or like, releasing an album or like meeting new fans, getting new followers, like I try to just be really thankful because I'm like, yeah, this all started with like a stupid demo that I wrote and like mixed myself and had no idea what I was doing. And like, the fact that anything has come of it is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I try to just be thankful. It's like, or even just thinking like, getting people to listen to your music is so difficult. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many bands that like I see ads for, just ignore it because I'm like, nah, I don't know. Like, I have
Yeah.
enough bands, I have enough music. I'm 33, I've listened to too much stuff. So, getting anyone to listen to your song is crazy as it
Yeah.
is.
It's
So,
true. It's true.
so yeah, just the fact that I am where I am, I'm super thankful. The fact that anyone buys the shirts that I make, I'm like, whoa, like.
Oh yeah, I
I
saw that. Aren't you like sold out of like four sizes already in the first shirt you put out,
I've
or
sold out of one size. Yeah,
oh,
I
one
have
size?
like
Okay.
maybe like one or two
Oh,
shirts
that's
left
right.
of
That's
like
right.
small, medium, and large, and
Yeah,
3X. So
that's
it's
dope
getting
though.
down to it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
money and jobs are so tight, and that anybody wants to spend, the
yeah.
money on you. That's kind of it's like
Yeah. I
mind
mean,
blowing.
it takes me a lot to buy
Yeah,
a band T-shirt now because like when I
yeah.
was
Me
growing up,
too.
shirts were like 15, $20, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I can swing that. And now, as soon as I see like 25, 30, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
My very first job was Hot Topic, and I remember so often it was buy two for 20.
yeah, crazy.
Buy a Metallica and a Slayer shirt for $20, and it's super high quality. It's good. But
Yeah.
as the years went on, it was like, okay, buy two for 25, and then buy two for 30 because all their shirts now are like $20, $25.
Yeah,
So I get that. I get that. My closet was piles of just band tees.
that's kind of how mine is now, but they're
Yeah.
all like 10 years old at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, mine too.
yeah,
Mine too.
but
But
yeah, I mean,
that's cool though. That's awesome.
the fact that anyone would like spend their hard-earned money on something I made is kind of crazy. And I mean,
Show up to a show,
yeah,
support it. Yeah,
I think it's easy to take that for granted and to kind of get this idea of like, oh, there's demand. I'm gonna, I don't want to be too businessy with it. So I think holding a loose grip and being like, wow, this is crazy that this is happening has made it more sustainable for me. For me to just like be okay with where I am and just be thankful that anyone cares has made Pipe Bomb more fun for me. But yeah, I guess like I'm releasing the album soon. So I guess looking back on this year, I'd like to just have the album, have people enjoy the album and to have the shows that we're doing go well and to like meet new people and yeah, be able to like talk with people at shows and just, I guess, have more of an established rapport with all the people who like Pipe Bomb, is to like get to know them better. And yeah, I mean, growth would be great. That's, that's the goal, obviously, but yeah, good growth, not like scratching and clawing your way up to the top, but just like,
sometimes you have to, though.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, in terms of like, people organically just like liking what I'm doing, and it's like,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
that's all what I'm about. Like,
yeah,
I just want it to be fun, because if it's not fun, it's like, what's the point,
That's true.
Yeah, so I think when I look back on it, there's a lot of stuff in the works. There's a lot of things I hope go well, but I hope that it's fun, and I hope that other people think that it's, if not artistically significant, at least nice to listen to, the new album.
And that track was a lot of fun.
Thanks, man.
Like after I heard that, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is pretty cool. That's different. Super random. Do you know a band called Dog Fashion Disco from Baltimore?
No, I don't.
Check them out.
Okay.
I think you would like them. There was a lot of stuff in your track that reminded me of that band.
Okay.
They are nuts. They are crazy. They switch it up. They add little things in there. It just made me think of that. They're a great fucking band. They have like 4 bands though. They're like the same dudes and go under 4 different band names. It's like Dog Fashion Disco, Al Creepo, Polka Dot Cadaver, and Knives Out. They're all the same bands. And it's funny when they do tours, it's like there's a stack of 4 bands and they're all in the same band. So they just kind of roll into the... It's hilarious. Anyway.
Those are all good names.
Yeah. And Al Creepo is like a Hawaiian ukulele-inspired horror tracks. It's so wild. But I love it. I fucking love it. So if somebody were to ask you, hey, Pipe Bomb, where's the best place to keep up with everything that's going on? Where would you send them?
Probably Instagram. I think that's probably where I'm most active. TikTok, I try to post frequently, but TikTok is kind of a mess, and I'm just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Instagram is more where I tend to interact with people.
Yeah, I don't even run our TikTok. I'm like, I don't even want anything. Like, we have one, we just started it, but I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing there.
It's fun. Like, it's a fun place to be, but
and then it gets addicting and you get wrapped up in all the things. I'm like, it's best to just, I know myself, and it's best to not be on that one.
I've met a lot of cool people on TikTok, but it is a lot to try to keep up with. So Instagram is definitely my comfort zone on social media.
What month does the album officially come out again?
It comes out in March. We haven't announced a release date yet, but it will be in March at some point.
So that just means everybody listening, go follow Pipe Bomb. What's the handle?
At Pipe Bomb Band.
All right, everybody, go follow Pipe Bomb Band on Instagram. Go check out their TikTok as well. Album comes out in March, so this is the perfect time to kind of familiarize yourself with the music, because there's more coming. If these lyrics hit as hard as they did for anybody, dive into some of the more tracks, because I'm sure there's some more deep stuff in there too. Dude, thank you for jumping on this. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I think there is an extremely bright future for Pipe Bomb, and I'm saying that because of how I saw the reactions at the show and how it made me feel. So I think there's something there. Keep going, dude.
Cool.
Keep
Thank
going.
You,
and thanks for telling your story. Coming on and talking about this shit is not easy. So the more that people do this, I think the more the conversation in this genre, in this community will, I don't know, maybe brighten up, our lives a little bit, hearing other people's stories. Know that we're not alone. Everybody, March, keep an eye out. Pipe Bomb. Check them out.